Hey everybody, so happy Tuesday night. So, my mom was suggesting I try melatonin because I was thinking about my exhausted thing, but I said I never really thought about melatonin thing because I don't really have a problem getting to sleep. Like, if I want to sleep, I'll sleep. Um, like I like to have white noise and stuff in the background, but I can get to sleep. I'm not like insomniac or anything, but it's like even today, okay, I got back and everything. Um, I uh took my shower and I was like, okay, I'm gonna marinate my marinate my what did I get at Steelers? I got I think it's pork loin strips or something. I don't know. And I was like, I'll marinate them in some of that teriyaki marinade, and then because it's a 30-minute marinade, and then I'll just do that later. But I said, well, I could do that anytime because it's 30 minutes, right? But um, I didn't. So I just did it like maybe an hour ago. I mixed the teriyaki marinade, soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce, um, something else, some other stuff, oyster sauce, and something else. So I'm just gonna marinate it overnight, and my, but yeah, I slept for a lot of the day today, and I woke up finally, and I was like, oh my god, what time is it? And because I had a dream, I don't know if it was a nightmare or a dream the other night that I didn't go to work, and like that's a dream, but it wasn't intentional. Like, I was like, oh my god, I have to be there. I don't have any time. And then like, so it was already like the day after, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And like this and that, and so it seemed so real, like it was crazy, and like so um, but yeah, I woke up today, and I was like, Alexa, what time is it? And she was like, it was 8 something, and I'm like, oh, I slept like all that time because I had to cancel my dentist appointment. I called them earlier today, and I was like, I need to cancel it because I need to come in another time and get that done, and my filling came out. They wanted me to come in on Thursday at 6:30 at night. I was like, oh, I can't because I work on Thursdays, and that was the soonest they had available because they want to fill the filling back up. I said, well, how about next week Tuesday, or she offered me Tuesday. I was like, oh yeah, I could do Tuesday. So I'm not gonna pick up any overtime that day. So I gotta remember that. But they send texts and stuff, but reminding you that, you know, about your appointment. But so yeah, I was gonna probably call tomorrow, but I can't do it at 6:30. I said, can I do it oh, I told her, can I do it at another time, like at 1 or at noon or something on Thursday? And she's like, oh, the earliest I have is 6:30 in the night. I'm like, dude, that's like, I thought you guys closed at 6. I guess where they closed at 6, but yeah, so I probably could have done it Saturday or Sunday, but I don't know because I didn't want to do. The reason why I said no is because this week, just in case there's any kind of issue of that, I'm going to be training, doing something this week, and they said I have to do so many hours doing it. So, like, the PA was telling me, um, I think because it's like cross training, you have to do so many hours in it. So I was like, so yeah, told him I'll come on Tuesday. So I'm just gonna keep it clean and like keep do like um mouthwash rinses after eating and stuff until that day, because yeah, I don't want anything to get in there and then it starts decaying, rotting in there, and then it causes another problem with just like I just got that tooth fixed and everything. So my dad was like, the other night he called me. He was like, "Oh, why didn't you go last week and get it fixed?" I was like, "Well, I didn't even know. At first, I didn't know what was going on because I felt something the day of the root canal that was there over it, but it fell out. I didn't notice the hole until like a day or two later. I was like, oh, did it fall out? Because there was a like a you know how fillings it feels like cement or something. So I was like, um, I was like, yeah. So, but um, I have a headache. Um, so yeah, and I like also like while I was sleeping, I kept coughing. I think it's just like dust in here, or like it could be like bronchitis. Cause I still have my cough syrup from when I had bronchitis the last time. So like, I didn't even think to take any of that when that was happening. It was like, but it was a dry cough. So it's like, but at work, this morning I took Dayquil severe, but not because I was coughing. It's because I just felt like, But this guy at work, you guys, he was talking to me on, one of my coworkers. We were talking about something. Oh, when we were talking about, Helter Skelter and all that, like that book. He was right up near me and he was like, oh, um, he's like, you know what? I'm not even coming tomorrow because I feel sick. I was like, this was like on, what day was that? That was Friday night. He was like, I'm not even coming tomorrow because I don't feel good. I'm out of it. He didn't say what it was, but I was like, but we have our mask on, but you know how it gets when it's hot. It's like, I'm kind of like, so I don't know. But like, yeah, he was telling me like, oh, but I don't think I'm sick because of him, because I've been dealing with that. I think that cough is from either allergies or it could be something else, but I don't think it's because of him because it happened before, like a few weeks, like maybe a month ago. I was having that a lot, so I don't think it's him. But yeah, when I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, because I keep that stuff in my purse anyway. Everyone's always talking about how I have all this stuff in my thing, but um, I'm like, okay. And then like, so he was walking around and all that, but then I was like, I told him, I was like, hey, he's like, do you want a Dayquil Severe? Because I have that in my bag. He's like, it's cool. He's like, it's like, I'm not coming tomorrow. I was like, I just was like, oh my god, he's like a little guy too, so I like probably took him out. But anyway, last but not least, you guys. Oh my god, the other day, me and Jazzy were talking. Forgot what we were talking about. And I was like, I don't know. I forgot what we were talking about, but we were talking about something. It was a good conversation. I was like, oh, I miss these times, you know? And it reminded me of something else. So we were all, okay, you guys at work, we were all sitting there, right, at lunch. And outside, usually I don't sit outside at lunch. I'm like in the back, but because I was working, I was problem solving and fluid like for like an hour, me and Neil. So we were problem solving, right? So we're right near the front, and I go outside, sitting with the usuals that I sit with before work, and somebody's kind of standing there from from a little distance, just kind of staring at towards us. And the person, I was like, I kind of had to come around. He looked familiar, but he was someone that worked there before, right? And we used to talk a lot because we worked together, and like they would help me, like try to do the walls and everything. They were cool, like when we worked together. But then he had a drama and he left. Right, he went to another building, and before he left, he got mad at me because I didn't tell him. He would text, right? He's one of those types that he needs to have, like, I don't know if it's attention or what. He's just like, he thinks that you have to tell him everything and you have to, like, yeah, okay, you might be friends with someone or coworkers, but that doesn't mean that the person has to, like, tell their whole world to you. Damn, So it was me, him, and two other guys. We had a little crew, that we would sometimes sit together. And I told them, they were trying to get on me. And even one of the neutral guys that was like, Josh, I always had your back. Because I was like, let's hear her side. Because the other guy that was in the group just instantly took the other guy's side. And was like, that was kind of effed up, Jocelyn, because he was just asking you how things were. I was like, what? Like, you weren't even there, dude. Like, you don't even know what happened. Like, he was only hearing one side, right? I'll mark my words. You guys, you think someone's gonna drop? Because he dropped me after that. After he thought that I said, I kind of was like, mind your bit. He kind of thought that I said, in so many words, mind your business, Which it wasn't that at all. It totally wasn't that, But he conveyed it like that to them. So they thought, oh, it was just how it was me, right? But look what he ended up doing to them. He dropped off, stopped answering them and everything. And the other guy that took his side was like, he ghosted us. Well, Fred, I told you think someone's going to drop one person for a BS reason and not do that to everyone else? People are who they are to everybody. They're going to show their true colors to everyone. Right? So fast forward, we were all over it. Fast forward a few days ago, I'm like, wait a minute. So he's standing there, right? And I'm like, I kind of had a feeling it was his ass. I mean, it was him. I'm sorry. I was like, why is this fool like standing here? But I knew who it was. So I was like, so after a few minutes, he goes, hello, hello. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, I knew it. I turned around, kind of played it off, but I was seriously kind of like, what? So, because he had straight up just ghosted after our drama, and then he left and went to another building. But I guess there was some issue with that building. They were so he came back to ours. And so he's like, so he comes up and he's like, we were talking a few minutes, he was telling us, and after he walked away because he had to go do something and clock in or something, we were all talking how, yeah, like, my friend's like, yeah, I saw your face, I knew you kind of saw who it was, but she's like, yeah, he did the same thing to me, he just ghosted, and then he came back, and then he's just talking like nothing, But I've had so much other drama, you guys, this past year, as many of you that have watched me are aware of, that I haven't even thought about, dude, but that guy, so it's just like, whatever. Plus, it's just a coworker, like, I don't really care that much about it, so he, after work, I'll go to the break room, and he was like, someone's like, hey, Jocelyn, I'm like, and I was like, oh, it's him, I was like, so then he kind of like, we hadn't discussed what had happened prior to him, leaving last time. So I was just like, I was sitting there and everything, and he was like, we were talking, and he was telling me what had happened and why he was back, and I said, "Oh, have you talked to who?" And he's like, telling me, hell no, but if I'm open, if he wants to talk, blah blah. So he was like, he only cares about his girlfriend. I was like thinking, oh my god, he still hasn't changed. Like I was thinking to myself, I was like, because he was like, that was the problem. Is he thinks that just because you talk to him and you're friends with him, that you have to like your whole life to him. And it's like, even if we were friends, like friends like that, like, dude, it's just friendship. It's not like, you're not. It's not like you should expect people who have that guy's friends. He has a girlfriend or wife or whatever. That's who he's gonna obviously be more focused on than a friend. So he still hasn't changed, but it's just whatever. It's like I didn't want no drama anymore, so I was like, look, I'm cool with you, but basically in my mind I'm like, keep it right over there. But I told I told our mutual friend, I was like, I'm not ready for no like talk all the time stuff, but he's like, I'm just whatever about it, but he like was telling me that so towards the end when he had to go, he's like, oh Jocelyn, like I wanted to tell you that, I just was mad because he started talking about what had happened. He's like, I was mad because we always talked and then you just told me basically mind my own business and blah blah. And I was like just thinking like, oh my god, you know, because I'm thinking that's not how it went. Because the last time prior to that, he did the same thing, like, and he tried to like he did the same thing, like he stopped talking. And then when he saw me get out of work, he was like, I think he felt like he had to say something because he saw me, like we saw each other, so he was like, but that's just how he is. So I'm just like, you know what, that's just how he is. So I talked to our mutual friend yesterday when I was doing overtime, and he's like, bruh, and then I was like, we were talking about it, and he was he was like, yeah, I talked to him, blah blah blah, but I understand why who isn't talking to him that much because it's like, yeah, he just that changes things, like when you like it's kind of like you'll still talk to somebody, but things change when somebody kind of like if I think when I can, like in the other guy's perspective, like I can see like things change when you're friends with someone and they do stuff like that, and then you just like, but then at the same time, I'm not like a I told you so type, but I'm thinking that's what our mutual friend was saying yesterday. He's like, yeah, he's like, it's just like at the time when they were all mad because. And I was thinking, wait, we were y'all talking about me? Like, what? Because he was like, yeah, when they were all going about how you had talked to him on the phone that time. I was like, oh my god. He was like, what's his name was all just ready to believe him and say that's foul. And then he tried to tell me at work one time we were working together, and he was like, Jocelyn, I'm just keeping real with you. You know, the way you handled that. I was like, what the, like, why are you telling me anything? First of all, bruh, you need to back up. Like, it was crazy, but that's what I'm saying, people, is that's why people shouldn't get in people's stuff, because they're gonna end up probably doing the same thing to you, which he learned later that that's what happened. B, and then he's always like, how guys are. Oh, he's like, I don't care, that dude goes, so that's F him. But the thing is, it was all fine and dandy when I was complaining about it. Like, I don't know why men don't just listen to women. Like, we know what we're talking about. Like, dude was shady as F at the time, and then I tried to tell you, and then look what he did. So I'm just saying, people, that to keep the peace, I just was like, okay, we cool, but let's let bygones be bygones. But I know also that I'm not going to like be like, oh, hey, or anything. I don't really have not high expectations, but because you really shouldn't have expectations anyway, because you get disappointed. But I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's talk all the time again. Like, it's not gonna be like how it was. So I understand how the other guy feels too, with even going there again, friend wise, with him, because he's seen ultimately what he's gonna do, and it's like the only reason he's talking to us now is because he's there now again. He has to see us. He's working with us, and maybe he's just like, So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll talk to him because even if I lied right here and say, well, no, F it, it's on site kind of thing, I still would probably talk to him anyway. I'll talk to him, but I just see his it's like I see his true colors already. So for me, as far as anything beyond work stuff or like just superficial stuff, we good. But I'm not investing because in that guy because I feel like I texted him last time I texted him before all this he just never answered. I think he blocked me and like he deleted me on everything and all that and it was just like bruh like but now he shouldn't be like hey like I was just supposed to be like open arms like that you don't do people like that. People have feelings and then people like that it's only about their feelings. And then they expect you to just be like okay well it was what it was. So I think it's funny how everyone has the same view. They're like oh my god yeah he came up to me again too and it's like bruh good and well you should have went to another building or you should have went to day shift or something. Because everyone on night is like on site with your ass. Oh my god, could you guys do that though? Like go into a job where you kind of like you talk to everybody because he was one of those types that talks to everybody, and he just left everybody hanging. It was like a giant fu, and you never know where you're gonna end up in life. Sometimes, like you never know you're gonna have to go back and to a job you thought you wouldn't, or you're gonna have to like interact with somebody that you thought you were just done with, and you always gotta keep things just. I had to learn that lesson myself, as far as with certain people and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna knock out again. Maybe I don't know. I always slept all most of the day, so I just ate something. I'm just gonna like probably read some stuff online and hopefully my doctor comes back tomorrow. Her nurse finally called me today. So, I'm just waiting for my doctor to get back to me on a little situation. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Happy hump day tomorrow. Okay, bye.